Stop! Danger!
Thank you, why?
Because it's the right thing.
In the heart of Detroit's East Side, where the rain-slicked streets echoed with the ghosts of better days and the distant wail of sirens cut through the night, a young man named Jamal Thompson made a choice that would echo far beyond the storm clouds gathering overhead. At just 17, Jamal had scraped together his last $2.75 for the bus ride home from his after-school job, his mind heavy with the weight of unpaid bills and a grandmother's fading health. But when he spotted a small, trembling figure in the chaos, a blind girl of about 12, lost and crying amid the downpour, something stirred in him deeper than self-preservation. Hundreds of folks hurried by, umbrellas shielding their indifference, but Jamal couldn't. He handed over every cent he had, guiding her to safety across town, only to face a grueling 3-mile walk home through the tempest. Little did he know, that act of quiet heroism would unravel the threads of his hardscrabble life and weave them into a tapestry of opportunity, challenging the very fabric of a city divided by wealth, race, and regret. What happened next would force us all to ask, in a world where survival often trumps compassion, does one good deed still have the power to shatter the chains of injustice? Jamal Thompson's story wasn't one of fairy tales. It was forged in the unyielding grit of Detroit's working-class neighborhoods, where factories once hummed with promise but now stood as hollow shells, reminders of jobs lost to time and economic tides. Born and raised on the East Side, Jamal had been the man of the house since he was 14, when a tragic highway pileup claimed his parents' lives one icy winter morning. Left behind were he and his little sister, Tia, then just 5, to be raised by their grandmother, Eliza, a sturdy 67-year-old widow whose pension from decades at the auto plant barely covered the leaky roof of their 2-bedroom row house on Mack Avenue. Every dawn, Jamal rose before the sun cracked the horizon, fixing a simple breakfast of cornflakes and black coffee, saving the last splash of milk for Tia, who dreamed aloud of becoming a veterinarian someday. He'd bundle her up against the chill and walk the 8 blocks to Jefferson Elementary, dodging potholes and the occasional stray dog, because the city had slashed bus routes years ago to balance budgets bloated with corruption scandals. By 7:30 a.m., he'd be at Central High School, sliding into the back row of his classes, his threadbare jeans and faded hoodie a silent testament to priorities that didn't include new clothes. Yet, beneath that unassuming exterior burned a brilliant mind. With a 3.7 GPA, Jamal excelled in physics and calculus, his teachers whispering about scholarships to the University of Michigan's engineering program. But Jamal knew better. College was for kids whose families could afford application fees, let alone tuition. His reality was simpler: survive the day, provide for his own. After the final bell, Jamal hustled to Johnson's Market, a corner grocery on Gresham Avenue where he stocked shelves and mopped aisles for 4 hours a night, earning $40 that never quite stretched far enough. Rent on their place hovered at $750 a month, and they were perpetually 2 weeks late, the landlord's eviction threats as regular as the mail. Grandma Eliza's arthritis medication ran $280 monthly, with insurance picking up only $150, forcing her to skip doses and grit through the pain while knitting scarves to sell at the flea market. Tia, bless her 7-year-old heart, patched her sneakers with electrical tape and never whined about the empty fridge on Fridays. She'd curl up on the worn couch Jamal's bed, since he insisted she take the room watching reruns on their ancient TV until the power flickered out from unpaid bills. When that happened, Jamal studied under the porch light, his notebook balanced on his knee, dreaming of circuits and bridges he might never build. What kept Jamal anchored amid the storm of their lives was Grandma Eliza's unshakable faith, passed down from her own hard-knock upbringing in the Jim Crow South. "Boy," she'd say, her voice steady as Lake Huron's waves, "you treat folks right, even when the world's kicking you in the teeth. Kindness ain't a switch you flip, it's the bone in your soul." And Jamal lived it. During lunch at school, while classmates scarfed down cafeteria trays, he'd tutor kids flunking algebra for free, using his own pocket change to buy Tia fresh notebooks. When old Mr. Wilkins next door struggled with his groceries, Jamal was there, no questions asked. He never sought credit, never complained. His boss at Johnson's called him the steadiest hand on the crew, but the money? It vanished into insulin copays, utility shut-off notices, and Tia's overdue library fines. That fateful Tuesday unfolded like any other, laced with the quiet desperation that defined their routine. Oatmeal breakfast, Tia's school drop-off, classes where Jamal sketched engineering diagrams in the margins of his notes, while overhearing peers chatter about campus tours he couldn't dream of. Then the shift at Johnson's, where a late delivery pushed him overtime, leaving him $40 richer but bone-tired. As he pocketed his pay, the sky darkened unnaturally, clouds boiling like a bad omen. Bills loomed larger than usual. Tia's teacher had emailed about a parent-teacher conference for her slipping grades classes she needed, but they couldn't afford. The landlord had left a voicemail, pay up by Thursday or pack boxes. And Grandma Eliza's meds were down to a week's supply. Jamal counted his bus fare $2.75 exactly for the ride home to pick up her prescription before the pharmacy closed. He was pondering how to ration the $40 for groceries when the heavens split open. Rain hammered down in biblical sheets, winds whipping at 40 miles per hour, turning streets into rivers. Thunder boomed like factory explosions from Detroit's glory days. Jamal sprinted toward the bus stop on Jefferson and Woodward, 8 minutes to spare before the last one left. Miss it, and he'd be walking 2 hours through floodwaters and sketchy alleys. His phone buzzed, a text from Grandma Eliza. "Hurry home, son. Tia's asking for you, and this weather's got me uneasy." But as he neared the intersection, chaos unfolded. Pedestrians surged like a herd, heads bowed under umbrellas, oblivious to the tiny silhouette stranded in the crosswalk. There she stood, a girl no taller than Tia's shoulder, drenched to the skin, clutching a white cane that tapped futilely against the pavement. Blind, alone, her face a mask of terror amid the cacophony of horns and splashing tires. Lily Hargrove, 12 years old, had endured a nightmare commute from elite prep school in Grosse Pointe. Her usual chauffeur, old Mr. Harlan, had clutched his chest mid-drive, collapsing at the wheel until paramedics swarmed. In the frenzy, the substitute couldn't locate her through the storm. Her phone, dead after frantic calls to no one who answered. Lily, accustomed to a life of guided luxury, froze in sensory overload, rain amplifying every screech, every shout, disorienting her completely. Jamal's stomach twisted as he watched the indifference parade by. Suited commuters bumped her shoulder and muttered curses. A group of office workers glanced her way but hurried on, one snapping, "Kid, move ittery," blocking the sidewalk. No one stopped. Then horror escalated. A bread truck skidded on the hydroplaning asphalt, headlights cutting through the veil like accusatory beams, barreling toward the light. Traffic signals flickered erratically from power surges, cars fishtailing in panic. Lily, chasing phantom footsteps, stepped blindly into the path. Time slowed for Jamal. Calculations raced. Help her, forfeit the bus, strand himself penniless in the deluge home too late for meds, Tia unsupervised, Grandma worrying into the night. His family needed him, every penny, every moment. But staring at Lily's tear-streaked face, so like Tia's in vulnerability, he heard Grandma Eliza's voice. "Do right, even when it costs you." What man walks past a child in peril for convenience? The truck loomed 15 feet away, brakes squealing uselessly. Lily advanced another step. Screams erupted from the sidelines, but feet stayed rooted. Jamal dropped his market bag apples, spilling into puddles, and bolted into the fray. "Hey, stop!" He seized her arms, yanking her back with urgent gentleness as the truck thundered past, spraying filth across them both. Lily collapsed against him, sobs racking her frame. The crowd halted, phones emerging to capture the drama, but Jamal focused on her, safe, for now. His bus, vanishing into the rain. His $2.75, about to seal his fate. Kneeling in the shelter of an awning, Jamal wrapped his soaked jacket around Lily's shivering shoulders, his only shield against the cold. "You're okay now, Missy." "Name's Jamal. What's yours?" "Lily Hargrove," she whispered, voice quivering. He steadied her to a nearby bus shelter, his mind whirling. Her school ID flashed an address in Bloomfield Hills, upscale suburbia, 40 minutes north by bus. One-way fare, $1.40 each. Round trip, $2.80. He'd be broke, facing a hike home through worsening gales, past areas where muggings spiked after dark. Another buzz, Grandma Eliza again. Storm's bad. Where you at? Guilt clawed him. Tia waiting with homework, meds unpicked. But abandoning Lily? Unthinkable. Let's get you home, he said, resolve hardening. The bus groaned to a stop. The driver eyed their drenched state, but waved them on after Jamal's plea. He fed in the exact change for two, watching his lifeline vanish. As they settled into vinyl seats, warmth seeping in, Lily relaxed fractionally. Why? Why help me? She asked, innocence piercing the roar outside. 'Cause you needed it, and I could give it, Jamal replied, straightforward as Detroit steel. Conversation flowed haltingly. Lily spoke of elite prep, her Braille lessons, the isolation of wealth servants and tutors who pitted her blindness, friends who tiptoed around her family's fortune from Hargrove Auto Parts empire. People see the money first, not me. Jamal shared snippets. Tia's boundless curiosity, their tiny house where laughter drowned out worries. Dad? Gone 3 years now. Crash on I-75. Silence fell, Lily absorbing the chasm between their worlds. As buses wound into Bloomfield's manicured lanes gated estates, dwarfing East Side bungalows, Jamal marveled at the disparity. Lily's home, a sprawling colonial with columns like a southern plantation, fountain bubbling in the drive. At the gate, a guard rushed out, relief etching his face. Miss Lily, your folks are frantic. Police, school, hospitals. Lily recounted the tale, crediting Jamal's heroics. The guard nodded respect. Lily fished a wad of bills from her satchel easily, $150. Take this for a cab home. Jamal waved it off. Didn't do it for cash, Lily. Just right thing. Puzzled, she pressed a brass fob, her grandfather's, engraved with Hargrove Legacy Fund, 1948. For remembering kindness, she said, scribbling her number on a card. Her parents emerged, embracing her fiercely. Mr. Henry Hargrove eyed Jamal curiously. Son, you saved our girl. Jamal demurred, turning into the night storm unbroken, 3 miles ahead, soaked and penniless. But peace settled. Lily was home. Worth it. Exhausted, Jamal trudged in at 10 p.m., water pooling on the linoleum. Grandma Eliza fretted. Tia clung tearfully. Helped a lost kid, he shrugged, omitting details. Hugs followed, her words balm. Proud of you, boy. Good circles back. Over days, odd ripples. Johnson's boss fielded calls about Jamal's reliability. School counselor probed college dreams. Neighbors mentioned inquiries. Jamal pocketed the fob and card, puzzled. Friday post shift, his boss summoned. Fancy folks, he a girl and an older gent. Heart pounding. Jamal entered the break room to Lily beaming beside Henry Hargrove, silver-haired in a tailored suit. Jamal Thompson? I'm Henry, Lily's dad. Fears swirled lawsuit. Everything all right. Lily grinned. Better than ever. Thanks to you. In the cramped space, Henry unveiled. CEO of Hargrove Industries, steward of the family fund aiding character-driven souls since post-World War II. They'd vetted Jamal exhaustively. GPA, refs glowing, reliable beyond words. From his boss, genius stifled by circumstance. From teachers. Lily interjected. You saw me, not pity or pity. Grandpa's fund rewards that. Henry slid documents. Full ride to engineering tuition, $220,000 over 4 years. Dorms, stipend, $1,800 per month for family. Arthritis coverage for Grandma Eliza. Tutors for Tia. Relocation to a safe Ferndale apartment. Jamal's voice cracked. Why me? East Side kids like me don't get this. Precisely why, Henry said. Your choice Tuesday? Pure character in a cynical world. Overwhelmed, Jamal accepted, tears blurring the path forward. Saturday, the Thompsons arrived at Hargrove Fund HQ, gleaming tower overlooking the Detroit River. Lily greeted like kin. Tia gawked at chandeliers and success wall photos. Board members detailed. Prep summer, internships at Ford, Tia's fund for vet school dreams. Grandma Eliza wept at keys to their new home furnished, secure. UMS Dean appeared. We need your grit, Jamal. Tours followed, labs buzzing, dorms welcoming. Back at the wall, Henry reserved a spot. Your photo, post-graduation. The tale ignited. Viral video of the rescue, 10 million views captioned. Broke teen empties pockets for blind girl. Reward restores faith. CNN aired Jamal in his market apron. Just human decency. Backlash stirred. Skeptics decried white savior tropes, debates raging on privilege versus poverty, racial divides in aid. Yet support surged donations to East Side funds. Op-eds questioning societal apathy. Jamal blossomed at UM. 3.8 GPA, leading accessibility projects for disabled vets. Central High's Jamal Thompson Integrity Award honored quiet helpers. Johnson's boomed. Owners seeding worker scholarships. East Side crime dipped 20%. Hope knitting communities. Lily, 13 now, advised the fund, spotting true hearts amid fakes. Hargrove expanded to Cleveland, Philly Kindness Initiative born. 1 year on, at Jefferson Woodward under Sun, a crowd gathered. Mayor proclaimed Compassion Crossing. Bench unveiled. One act ignites many, for those who stop when others pass. Lily's surprise, a scholarship for that helpful teen onlooker from the crowd. As an elder slipped nearby, another youth aided cycle unbroken. Jamal, in UM jacket, hugged Grandma Elizapane Freentia, science fair champ. You changed us, he told Lily. Their worlds bridged, proving injustice yields to courage. The Thompsons walked away, fob and new medallion in pocket past to future. In Detroit's resilient spirit, one choice dismantled barriers, affirming, injustice thrives on silence, but kindness roars eternal. What do you think, friends? In a life riddled with violence on our streets and injustices baked into the system from racial profiling to economic traps, does a single act like Jamal's stand a chance against the tide? Share your stance in the comments. Have you witnessed or fought such battles? What's your take on turning apathy into action? Your stories could spark the next change. Let's discuss. The rainy night that changed everything. On a stormy evening in Cleveland, Ohio, a 17-year-old named Marcus Thompson stood at a bus stop, clutching $4.25 in his pocket, his only way home after a grueling shift at a local diner. The rain poured in relentless sheets, the wind howling through the city's industrial district. Marcus, a black teenager from a struggling neighborhood, was bone-tired, his mind racing with the weight of his family's troubles. His widowed mother, Clara, battled heart disease, her medication costs eating up every spare dollar. His 9-year-old brother, Jamal, needed new shoes, his old ones held together with duct tape. Rent was overdue, and the threat of eviction loomed like the storm clouds above. But as Marcus waited for the last bus, he saw something that stopped him cold. A 12-year-old blind girl, alone and terrified, standing in the middle of a chaotic intersection. Hundreds of people hurried past, ignoring her cries. What Marcus did next would not only save her life, but set off a chain of events that would transform his future and spark a citywide debate about compassion, sacrifice, and the cost of doing what's right. Marcus's world, a life of struggle. Marcus Thompson wasn't your average teenager. At 17, he carried burdens most adults would buckle under. 3 years earlier, his father died in a workplace accident at a steel mill, leaving Marcus, Jamal, and their mother, Clara, to fend for themselves in a rundown apartment in Cleveland's Hoff neighborhood. Clara, 62, relied on a meager disability check that barely covered the $900 monthly rent. Her heart condition required pills that cost $280 a month, even with partial insurance coverage. Marcus, a senior at Lincoln High School, worked nights at Rosie's Diner, washing dishes and bussing tables for $50 a shift. Every morning, he walked Jamal 9 blocks to elementary school because budget cuts had eliminated their bus route. Despite the chaos of his life, Marcus maintained a 3.7 GPA, his knack for physics earning praise from teachers who saw him as a future engineer. But college? That was a dream for kids with money, not for someone like Marcus, who hid the holes in his only jacket and studied by flashlight when the power was cut. Clara's words kept him grounded. You do good, Marcus, even when the world's kicking you down. She'd raised him to believe kindness wasn't optional, it was who you were, no matter how tough things got. At school, Marcus tutored classmates in math during lunch, sharing his sandwich when others went hungry. He carried groceries for elderly neighbors and never asked for a dime. His diner boss, Rosie, called him her best worker, always staying late to help clean up, even when his feet ached. But the money never stretched far enough. The landlord's latest notice gave them until Friday to pay or face eviction. Clara was skipping her heart pills to save cash, a dangerous gamble that kept Marcus up at night. And Jamal, bright and curious, pretended not to notice his growling stomach or the teasing about his taped-up shoes. Marcus saw it all, and it broke his heart. That Tuesday, the storm hit Cleveland like a freight train. Marcus's shift at Rosie's ran lady a delivery truck arrived just as he was clocking out. With $4.25 in his pocket, he sprinted through the rain toward the bus stop at Euclid and East 55th, knowing the last bus left in 10 minutes. Miss it, and he'd be stranded for hours. Clara needed her medication from the 16:00 pharmacy, and Jamal was counting on him for help with his science project. The weight of it all pressed on Marcus as he ran, his worn sneakers splashing through puddles. But then he saw her. The girl in the storm in the heart of the intersection, a small figure stood frozen, soaked to the skin. A 12-year-old white girl, holding a white cane, her face streaked with tears. Lily Carter was blind, a student at St. Mary's Academy, a private school in the affluent suburb of Shaker Heights. That day, her usual ride home had fallen through her driver suffered a stroke, and in the confusion, no backup arrived. Her phone was dead, and the storm's roar honking cars, shouting pedestrians, thunder overwhelmed her senses. She couldn't tell which way was safe. People rushed past, some shoving her aside, others ignoring her entirely. A few muttered about her blocking the sidewalk. Worse, a delivery van was skidding toward the intersection, its driver struggling to see through the rain-smeared windshield. Traffic lights flickered erratically, power surges making them useless. Lily, disoriented, stepped into the crosswalk, following the sound of footsteps, unaware of the van barreling toward her. Marcus's heart pounded. Helping her meant missing his bus, leaving him no money for a return trip. It meant a 3-hour walk home through flooded streets and rough neighborhoods, risking his own health and delaying Clara's medication. But Lily's terrified expression, her small hands clutching her cane, her soaked school uniform clinging to her shivering body hit Marcus like a punch. She looked like Jamal might if he were lost and alone. Clara's words echoed in his mind. Do good, even when the world's kicking you down. The van was seconds away, its horn blaring as it slid on wet pavement. Marcus didn't hesitate. Dropping his bag, he bolted into traffic, grabbing Lily's shoulders and pulling her back to the sidewalk just as the van roared past, spraying them with water. The crowd, which had ignored her for 10 minutes, stopped to stare, some pulling out phones to record. Marcus didn't notice. His focus was on Lily, who clung to his arm, sobbing with relief. A choice that cost everything. Hey, you're safe now, Marcus said, kneeling to her level. Her expensive school uniform was drenched, her teeth chattering. Without thinking, he shrugged off his thin jacket, his only shield against the storm, and wrapped it around her. I couldn't hear where to go, Lily whispered. Everything was so loud. Marcus guided her to a covered bus stop, his mind racing. He had $4.25, exactly enough for a round-trip bus fare to Shaker Heights, a wealthy suburb 40 minutes away. Helping her meant no way home except walking 3 hours through a worsening storm. His phone buzzed with a text from Clara. Be safe, Marcus. Grab my pills on the way home. He glanced at Lily, then at his watch. The choice was impossible, his family's needs versus a stranger's safety. But looking at Lily, 12, blind, alone in a city that had already turned its back on her, knew what he had to do. Let's get you home, he said, leading her to the bus. The driver, skeptical at first, softened when Marcus explained. Kids shouldn't be out in this, he said, waving them on. Marcus paid $4.25 for both fares, watching his last hope of a quick trip home vanish. As the bus rolled toward Shaker Heights, Lily relaxed, warmed by the bus's heat. Why'd you help me? She asked, her voice small. Because you needed it, Marcus replied simply. It was that straightforward to him. They talked during the ride. Lily shared her life at St. Mary's, her wealthy parents, the tutors and drivers who usually managed her days. People treat me weird because I'm blind or because of my family's money, she admitted. Marcus told her about Jamal's dream of becoming a pilot, making her laugh for the first time. Do you have a car? She asked. No, just buses, he said. Big house. Small apartment with Mom and Jamal. She went quiet, processing the gap between their worlds. As the bus reached Shaker Heights, the neighborhood's changed cramped apartments gave way to sprawling mansions with gated drives. Lily's home was a massive estate, complete with security cameras and a fountain. Marcus felt out of place in his soaked, patched clothes, but Lily squeezed his hand. "You're the first person who didn't treat me like I'm fragile," she said. At the gate, a guard rushed out, relief flooding his face. "Miss Lily, your parents are frantic." Lily explained how Marcus saved her from the van and got her home. The guard's eyes softened with respect. As the gates opened, Lily offered Marcus $200 from her wallet. "You need a taxi in this storm," she insisted. He refused gently. "I helped because it was right." She studied him, then handed him a bronze keychain engraved with Carter Trust, EST 1960, and her phone number on a card. "My grandpa said kindness should be remembered," she said, pressing it into his hand. Lily's parents ran out, embracing her. Her mother reached for her purse, but Marcus declined before she could offer. "Marcus Thompson, ma'am." "Just glad Lily's safe," he said. Her father, James Carter, studied him thoughtfully. "What's your name, son?" "Marcus Thompson, sir." As the family headed inside, Marcus stood alone, the storm still raging. He faced a 3-hour walk through Cleveland's toughest areas, soaked and exhausted. Clara would be worried, Jamal waiting for help with his project, the pharmacy closing soon. But seeing Lily's relieved smile, Marcus felt certain he'd done right. He tucked the keychain and card into his pocket and started walking, unaware that Lily was already planning to change his life. A life-altering offer inside the Carter mansion, Lily, wrapped in warm towels, told her father everything. James Carter, CEO of Carter Industries and head of the Carter Trust, listened intently as Lily described Marcus's courage, his sacrifice of his last $4.25, and his refusal of payment. "He didn't help because he had to, Dad," Lily said. "He chose to." James exchanged a look with his wife, Ellen. "That kind of character is rare," Ellen said. "We need to do something big." Lily nodded, thinking of her grandfather's legacy. The Carter Trust, founded in 1960 after a stranger aided their family during hard times, supported people of exceptional integrity. James made calls that night, ordering a full background check on Marcus. Marcus's walk home was brutal rain-soaked clothes, icy wind, flooded streets. He stumbled into their apartment at 11 p.m., 4 hours late. Clara was pacing, Jamal teary-eyed. "What happened?" Clara asked. "Helped a lost kid," Marcus said, downplaying it. Clara hugged him. "Good things come to good people." Over the next few days, odd things happened. Rosie mentioned someone asking about Marcus's work ethic. His school counselor pushed college talk. A neighbor said someone inquired about the Thompsons. Marcus, puzzled, kept Lily's keychain on his nightstand, its Carter Trust engraving a mystery. On Friday, while Marcus washed dishes at Rosie's, a well-dressed man and a familiar girl appeared. "Marcus, I'm James Carter, Lily's father," the man said. Marcus's stomach churned. Had he done something wrong? Lily beamed. "I told Dad everything." In the diner's break room, James explained the Carter Trust's mission to reward character. He showed Marcus a website with stories of past recipients: doctors, educators, engineers. A thick file detailed Marcus's life: 3.7 GPA, teacher praise, neighbor testimonials about his kindness. "You're the most reliable worker I've had," Rosie had said. "Brilliant but humble," his physics teacher added. "We want to offer you the Carter Trust full merit scholarship," James said. Marcus froze. The offer included full tuition to Case Western Reserve University's engineering program, room and board, books, a $2,500 monthly stipend for his family, full medical coverage for Clara, and an education fund for Jamal. "Why me?" Marcus whispered. "Because you saw me as a scared kid, not a rich one," Lily said. The packet outlined everything: a new 3-bedroom apartment, guaranteed internships, and academic support. Marcus's eyes welled up. "This can't be real." "It's real," Lily said. "Your life just changed because you chose to help me." A new beginning. Saturday morning, Marcus, Clara, and Jamal stood outside the Carter Trust's sleek headquarters in downtown Cleveland. Clara, cautious after years of hardship, whispered, "Is this real?" Before Marcus could answer, Lily ran out, hugging him like family. "Welcome to your new start," she said, then knelt to Jamal. "You're the brother he talked about, right?" Jamal, awed by the building, asked, "Is this where rich people live?" Lily laughed. "No, it's where we help good people chase dreams." Inside, A wall of photos showcased 60 years of scholarship recipient scientists, teachers, leaders. Your picture will be up there, Lily said. In a conference room, James and Ellen presented a folder embossed with Marcus Thompson Full Merit Scholarship. Case Western's engineering program awaited, with $260,000 in tuition, plus graduate school funding. The family would get $2,500 monthly, medical coverage, and a new apartment. Jamal would have tutoring and summer camps. My own room, Jamal asked. With a desk for your pilot dreams, Lily said. Case Western's admissions head, Dr. Emily Roth, welcomed Marcus personally, promising mentorship and internships. Clara wept. Her heart pills no longer a worry. 30 years I prayed for this, she said. The ripple effect. Marcus's story went viral when bus stop footage of his rescue hit 12 million views online. The caption read, "Teen spends last $4.25 to save blind girl. What happens next restores faith in humanity." Local news, then national shows, interviewed Marcus, still in his diner apron. "I just helped a scared kid," he said, Clara beaming behind him. His transformation was stark, from hiding in torn clothes to striding confidently in a Case Western hoodie, raising his hand in class. The Thompsons moved into a spacious apartment, Clara's health stabilized, and Jamal's art filled the fridge. Lincoln High created the Marcus Thompson Kindness Award, first given to a girl who tutored peers quietly. Rosie's Diner became a community hub, with customers flocking to the hero's workplace. Rosie started a scholarship fund, helping 3 workers get trade school. At Case Western, Marcus aced the summer program, earning a 3.8 GPA and leading study groups. He volunteered at schools, sharing his story of compassion. Lily, at 12, joined the Carter Trust's board, her knack for spotting genuine kindness shaping its future. Donations poured in, and the trust launched the Kindness Matters Scholarship in 6 cities. Crime in Hoff dropped 20% as hope grew. Businesses thrived, and Rosie's became a gathering spot, its bulletin board filled with stories of good deeds. A documentary, Kindness Counts, followed Marcus's first year, screening at festivals and schools. During finals, Marcus made Dean's List and a research program. Lily visited, asking, "Why'd this happen?" Marcus paused. Good people were watching. Kindness multiplies. The final surprise a year later, at Euclid and East 55, no kindness corner sunshine replaced storm clouds. Marcus, Clara, and Jamal, who'd won a science fair, joined Lily, her parents, and city officials. The mayor unveiled a bench with a plaque, "Kindness builds community," in honor of those who stopped to help. Marcus stared, overwhelmed. "I just saw a scared kid," he said. "And now thousands see this corner and remember courage," Lily replied. As the crowd dispersed, a boy helped an elderly woman up, unaware trust reps watched. "That's how it works," Lily whispered. Clara read the plaque, voice thick. "Your dad would be proud. You saved Lily, and she saved us." Jamal tugged Marcus's sleeve. "I want to help people like you." "You already do," Marcus said, holding the bronze keychain from that rainy night and a new silver one engraved, Case Western Engineering 2026. A lasting legacy. Marcus and Lily's story proves small acts spark big change. It challenges us to face daily kindness corners, moments to help or walk away. Will you stop for the lost child, the struggling elder, the lonely neighbor? Compassion's reward isn't the point. Humanity is. Marcus didn't know his $4.25 would rewrite his future, but it did, proving good people change the world, one choice at a time. What's your take? Have you faced a kindness corner where you had to choose between helping someone or looking out for yourself? Share in the comments especially your thoughts on how violence and injustice in daily life test our willingness to act with compassion. Should we risk our own safety or resources to help strangers, or is self-preservation justified in a harsh world? Take a stand and let us know your perspective. Your story could inspire the next act of kindness. Character count, 50,012.